Yeti, your Marvel action film.
I need Jason Bay to direct Godfather 4. That's what I need. I need explosions. I need someone getting whacked with a missile. What's cooking? What's popping? It's your boy Pat Chennington, and I am here with the one and only Christ, owner of Business Casual, the man, the myth, the legend, coming down to visit me in New Jersey on a beautiful Monday morning. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
I'm all right, man. I'm kind of tired. Long weekend.
Well, I feel that I'm visiting family, and it's
a tough one.
Yeah, I love my family. They're great to visit. But I always remember why I decided to move out. But, you know, hey, I'm sure everybody feels that way sometimes at least, you know.
Trust me. It's like a loud Italian family. It's the worst. You can't, like, leave. It's like they put a spell on you, though. Like, I feel like I could just never leave Jersey. But, yeah, we are in Asbury Park in New Jersey by the water. We're under a bar in the basement right now at 11:30, I think. Luckily, they're open. But yeah, so John came down. We're going to talk some Vaporwave. We're going to talk about music. We're going to talk about the record label, what's going to happen in the 2020s, everything from live shows, Electronicon, and all that good stuff that's going on. All right, so let's start off with like basic question, super simple. How did you get into music? And along your, I guess, musical journey between inspirations and your favorite artists and whatnot, how did you end up here today as a record label owner, an artist yourself, and just in the Vaporwave scene in general?
Well, it started off, I want to say probably around 2010. You know, I was into YouTube for a long time. I was making YouTube videos as a kid, and that was sort of my gateway into content creation. And from there, I had come in contact with an online record label at the time, Breakbeat Music, which was all these YouTube poop musicians, people who would make music out of just samples and TV shows and just random stuff. And it was for a joke, but there were other people who were actually making music. And so I ended up finding myself in that sort of space on the internet. And I had tried to join that label multiple times and failed, and then I got on and then I got kicked off. And so I said, fuck you, I'm going to make my own label. That was the first label I made.
Okay.
And I made a second one. And then come 2012, end of 2012, a friend of mine had sent me, Replica by One Tricks Boy Never. And that was my real introduction to the sort of Vaporwave sound. And from there, you go down the rabbit hole. You see all the early classics, and then the Macintosh Plus, the Internet Club, stuff like that. And eventually, I started making music geared towards that genre because I'd always been making sample-based music. But at that point, I was making music for a couple months in, so I sent a demo into Fortune 500, which was top dog at the time.
Classic, yeah.
And I didn't hear back, so I said, fuck you, I'll make my own label, just like I did the last time.
Round 2, yep.
Yeah, and, looking back, they probably had a ton of demos. My demo wasn't that great. Whatever. They missed out. No, they didn't. They missed out. But then they closed, like, that summer, that winter after that, and so Business Casual just sort of filled in that spot. And I've been doing it ever since. Yeah,
I mean, it's definitely one of the labels in the scene. I know when I first started, I was pretty late into the Vaporwave scene, like all this stuff. I started listening around like 2015. So I just randomly stumbled upon Floral Shop one day, and then from there down the rabbit hole, I just kept clicking the YouTube related section. I don't think I've ever been on Bandcamp in my life up until this point, and then I just found everything. So pretty late in the scene. But even from the beginning, I do remember seeing that Business Casual logo all the time. A lot of people have this question too, like, where do I find good labels? How do I find artists and whatnot? I just went on this like follow binge on Twitter. I made a Twitter and I just followed everybody. And I remember you were one of the first ones I followed. I didn't even know like Christ, Business Casual was all part of the same thing. Always pretty consistent. Like you always have those little video promos you put out, and so it's definitely a solid solid thing you got going on over there. And you run it, it's all yourself, 100%. It's
at the moment, it's just me running the behind the scenes show. Sure, artists make the music, of course, but like all the sort of like I ship every tape that I put out.
Yeah,
it's a pain in the ass, but it could be worse. There are a lot worse things I could be doing with my time.
Yes, no, I feel you, and I feel like you can just get like, if you do one thing wrong as a label in regards to like just a missed shipment or something and you don't address it or whatever, you could just get massacred online. And I feel like there's never any, any beef, any bad talk with business casual. So you're doing something right.
That's the one thing I pride myself on is getting things out. I try to get it out as timely as I can, but there's some labels that maybe you just won't get it.
Yeah. Let's talk Electronicon. You were there twice. Not only were you there, you were a performer there. Which I actually, to get ready for this interview, I rewatched your whole set of Electronicon 1. First off, I thought like my YouTube, something went wrong with it, because your like video dimension on that thing is like just, it's like super weird. I was like, what is this? But anyway, I rewatched the set, and I just want to know from one artist, because I played at night, but you were there in the main day, and you got to play in California. So just tell me your experience at Electronicon as a fan, as an artist, and as a friend. We were talking about this before, just of people you've been friends with online for so long and you never got to meet, and you met him, for the first time.
Well, it was definitely really nice meeting, Dan Mason, 3D Blast, that crew. I met Frank before, Frank Draft City, but seeing him again. Somehow
you met him someplace. I actually met him at the Young Bay show. I think you were there too. That time I jumped on stage.
Yeah. I saw you. I was like, who's that idiot jumping on stage?
I saw like security start to get a little like pissed on the side. So I was like, let me get off.
Yeah.
But I met Frank there, and I think he was like sweating really profusely, and I was like, dude, are you alright? And he was like, I have a fever or something.
Yeah, I remember he said he wasn't feeling that great that week. But I met. That first Electronicon was just a trip, meeting for the first time a lot of these people, because this is the second time, I didn't get a chance to really talk to a lot of people the day of, because everybody was just it was very hectic.
Yeah.
They actually had the merch booth open the entire time, so
Yeah.
Trying to pay my trip out there, just peddling my wares.
Yeah.
But meeting, Tech and James from DDS was interesting. Seeing Telepath, that was a bit shocking.
Yeah, I heard I didn't get a chance to meet him, but I heard he's just like a straight up normal, regular dude.
He's an alien. He's exactly what you think he is. Just trying to keep that dream alive.
Like, I met a solid amount of people. I think I met almost everybody I wanted to, except Telepath. Yeah. And I had it there was this one point in the night where I think George got everybody upstairs to take a picture, and so I did my set at the after party. And then I go back into the green room, whatever it is, and I can't find my keys, my car keys, so I'm like, shit, I lost my keys. So I'm like looking for them for an hour, only to realize I checked them in earlier with my bag. But during that time, that's when like George was texting me, come up, we're taking this picture, and I couldn't have Telepath there and everybody else. But that is, I got to Photoshop myself in that picture when that happens.
I'm sure you just like in the background. Now, I know there's people who I'm missing. Electronicon 2 was in LA, and that was fun. I met Eyeline for the first time. Really sweet guy.
Yeah,
really sweet.
He seems like a chill dude.
Oh, just so cool. I met Limousine, who's a cool dude. I met a whole bunch of other people. Just got a couple guys who I knew on Twitter the whole time.
Now, was it one, because I wasn't at the LA one, was it one stage or two? Or
it was 3 stages.
So it was kind of just like New York?
Exactly like New York, just mostly inside. No, there was that outdoor section.
Yeah.
But, nothing was playing out there as well as, it was not quite as big or nice as the one.
Well, I really think like that New York one, that upstairs stage, that made it. Like just being able to go see a show downstairs in those 2 little spots, and then go chill upstairs and see the skyline and stuff.
Sure.
And that Telepath set, that like just with the city and the sun was going down, and it was like legendary. For anyone who went to Electronicon one, you know like what we're talking about. But if you didn't, it really was perfect. Like George couldn't have done it any better.
Weather was perfect. Like I was like, I had a nightmare one day. Like, well, what if it starts raining?
Or it starts snowing.
Well,
in August.
In August, yeah, I guess like that would be crazy. But no, it was just a great time, and I just magical, you know.
It was.
And I would have had a good time if I was just there, you know. Just I bought a ticket, you know, I was just there.
Yeah.
But playing the show, being backstage, oh man, like,
yeah.
You know, made me feel like I was a part of a real thing, a real world.
Yeah, it really was, and it's crazy because there's a lot of times you go online. Obviously, it's the internet, Reddit, Twitter, whatever, and there's always people who are pissed about this and whatever. But there, when you all get together in real life, it's like it was so much. I'm sure same thing. It was just so much fun. Like I don't know, it really was amazing. It was an incredible time, and like shout out to George too because. I'm throwing a show in New York in about 2 weeks from now, and let me tell you something. Like the scene, I say this all the time. It may seem so big online, obviously, because we're all connected through social media, whatever it is. But still, translating it in real life, it is very tough. It is not easy. And for George to not only get everyone together, but sell out in like the first day or something.
Well, it's the first of its kind.
That too, yeah. That too.
And you'd be okay. You wouldn't be stupid. Because people like, you know, it is a big trip. The reason why I was able to go was one, you know, I got on the set list, and two, taking a bus from Pittsburgh to New York isn't that bad.
Yeah.
If like taking a plane to LA, that was a.
Yeah, the reason I didn't go.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't have been able to go if I wasn't playing.
Yeah.
Because it can be expensive, and you know, I'm just hoping he, you know, decides to put in other cities, other places, so a little more accessible to people who maybe didn't missed out the first two.
Yeah. Yeah, I really wonder where he's going to take it next, because you do New York, you do LA, and everyone obviously.
Chicago.
I know that's what everyone's saying. Chicago. That's just the smart way to do. I feel like it's in the middle of everybody. But yeah, it's gonna be it's definitely gonna be interesting to see where he takes it next. He's like pushing Equip so much, which is awesome, and watching him just kind of explode in the past year. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go Chicago. You know.
And I think Fire Tools is over there.
Yeah.
I think 3D Blast is in Detroit, so he's not far.
Didn't he used to live in Chicago? Well, I could totally be wrong.
I don't know that I did. I'm not sure.
Yeah, shout out to 3D Blast. I love that guy.
Shout out to 3D Blast.
You guys were playing Fortnite the other night, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, how'd that go? I stopped him for like 2 seconds.
It's not great. You know, I'm.
Are you good at you're a good like video gamer? Like usually people are just like naturally good at video games. Or?
I'm good at Tetris. That's the only game I'm good
shit,
at.
Tetris is fun as fuck though. So
it's a perfect game. But other than Tetris, you know, I could hide in a bush in Fortnite and be fine, you know.
Rock it till the 10 people left.
Exactly, it's exactly what I do. That's my strategy. People look at me, it's like, oh, that doesn't sound like fun. You tell me, you know, when you get that victory royale, 1 kill, maybe, you know. You told me that's not fun. Yeah.
Christ, the name. Yeah. Where'd it come from? I want the story. The name that I always spell wrong because I never. What's the word? Hyperscript? Is that what it's called? Where you make it small?
The only reason why, a couple things. You know, back in 2012, 2013, Witch House was still kind of a thing. And they were using Hyperscript all the time and these sort of things. Granted, I don't necessarily associate myself with Witch House, even though I have a soft spot for it. But I sort of used that because things like I thought it was just a cool name. There's really no like deep backstory to it. I just thought it was a cool name. You know, it's like Christ. But then I'm thinking SEO is going to be shit on that. You know, and so I had the 3 T's, and then I'm thinking, hey, what if they're crosses? Think about it. Well, you got the symbolism in there. You got the visual. People realize, hey, there's 3 crosses. Maybe it's supposed to be Christ. You would hope. You would think. Still, people call them crisscross
Crisscross.
christtt.
I always thought it was just Chris, and I was just like, maybe just the little crosses are silent or something.
No,
I was like, there's no way.
I thought it was obvious. I grew up in a religious household, and even though I'm not necessarily as religious as I used to be, but I would have thought like people get this, right? But apparently not.
No, dude. I was just with Fiverr actually. We were just talking about this, and first off, talking about like deep names and stuff. You think like all these artists, have these like crazy backstories. He just looked up like a rock band name generator when he was like in middle school or something. He was telling me, and then Fiverr came up, so he was like, I just use that forever. But same thing with that. Like I've had people who are like, is it Fibre?
For a short time in the early days, I thought it was Fibre.
Yeah, because I was like, really? Like you would name yourself Fibre? Like I don't understand what that would mean. But yeah, it's just
what you can make up whatever meaning you want behind my name. But I thought it was cool at the time. I still think it's cool.
I think it's pretty cool. I like the little logo you got where they all connect. It looks pretty sweet. So I've seen from time to time I think you posted on Twitter, you have a pretty solid record collection. And not only do you because most people, like you're like me, like I like to keep it nice and neat and tidy and just presentable. Like I find like record collecting to be like a really nice conversation starter. I have people over, make a drink, and they pull stuff out, we talk about whatever. But I always appreciate talking about record collecting. It's obviously one of my like big hobbies. But what got you into record collecting? What keeps you collecting? Why do you do it? And what are some of your, I would say, favorite pieces in your collection, and maybe most rarest, if you would know?
Well, I got into record collecting actually recently, and it has been really bad. It's,
you could get really deep into it.
I've recently, as of the past like 6 months, really reeled it back, and I used to go to the record store once every other week. Now I might go once a month, or if I go on like a trip, I'll go to like when I was in LA, went to WB Records.
So well, you do go like thrift shopping. And
I don't really look for records thrift shopping. Okay. Chances are, at least where I'm at, it's just gonna
find some Herb Alpert.
Yeah,
30 of them.
A ton of them. Ton of Herb Alpert. Oh my fucking god. Now, I think thrift shopping for other stuff, but I started record collecting 2017.
Okay.
And I think I now have over 500 records. Granted, I picked out a lot of stuff that was from a time that I just missed, like the sort of late 2000s to the early 2010s. That sort of like James Farrow, Hippos and Tanks. Stuff like that sort of like it's Old English Spelling before they went off the deep end. Like stuff like that was the stuff that I completely missed. While I'm so mad I wasn't tapped into that when it was big, because I would have loved to know this stuff back then. But I'm glad I know it now, and I have these records, and I got them for nothing because, like anything, things go in and they go out. But I'm trying to think what some of my favorite records are. I picked up actually recently a Holy Grail, 2009, Hercules and Love Affair. It's like a house record from DeFi. It's got these really funky and soulful, and it's a perfect house record in my opinion. It's a recommendation of house electronic,
awesome.
and sort
I gotta check it out.
And I recently picked up another Holy Grail, which was Girl Talk's Night Ripper, which is mid 2000s. It's like Vaporwave before Vaporwave, where it's like the Avalanches, where it's just this onslaught of samples, but it's really just it's funny, it's stupid, but it's a great record, and I found it from a local guy in Pittsburgh who was just selling it on eBay. He says, "Hey, you want to come pick it up?" It's like, yeah,
that's awesome.
And I'm chatting with the guy for a couple of hours. It was great.
Another question for you. I always find it fun to kind of just like picture some of my favorite artists in the scene working with other artists in the scene, and doing Combo Champ, which is coming out in it. Probably by the time this video drops, it will be out already.
January 1st, right?
Yeah, January 1st, New Year's Day. So you've probably heard it already, but it's always cool for me to just have these like really, magical situations of putting one artist with one and everything like that. And Combo Champ, we kind of get to see that come to life. So you've been working with Golden Living Room on a track. But from yourself and from other artists you like in the scene, is there anyone that you could pick that you would love to collaborate with? Personally, I always thought you and like Mesh would do something pretty sweet. Like you guys have a really good take on just like sporadic, you can have like high-pitched chipmunk samples and then you just drop it, and I think like you guys working together or just these clashing of different sounds, I don't know. I just think it's a very interesting mix. It's very unpredictable, and I think you guys would kill it. But is there anyone specifically you think?
Well, yeah, Mesh is definitely up there.
Yeah.
I working with someone like Internet Club, who's just. I saw their live set in LA, and that was something else. Apparently, it was their first set.
Yeah.
Could have fooled me. Now the one person I would love to work with, which it's a complete dream and it won't happen, but James Ferraro is the one vaporwave artist that I slept on.
Yeah.
Like early on, because I didn't get Far Side Virtual until well later, and I'm so mad at myself because it is a masterpiece. Like almost everything he touches is gold, and it'd be a dream to work with him, but at the same time, I don't know that I have the talent to work with someone like that. Because really, I'm a hack,
I don't know. I mean, like, No Lives Matter. That is some good stuff, man. Like, I love it. That's some good stuff.
If I'm good at anything, it's at crafting a concept in production-wise, if it's any good.
What do you think, like, for the 2020s, like, where do you think the scene is going to go? What do you think is going to happen next? I know no one knows what's going to happen next at this point, but
I just hope I just hope it keeps going. At
yeah,
this
me
point.
too. Yeah.
For the past decade almost, I've been doing this, and I'm thinking to myself, the bubble's got to pop at some point. Like any genre, it's got to implode on itself.
Yeah.
I don't know when that's going to happen. Like it just keeps getting bigger, and I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I think
this defies all logic.
Yeah. You also run. We talked about this a little bit earlier in this interview conversation of sorts, whatever. Excuse me. You run Business Casual, so you run a record label. For the scene right now, pretty much anyone can make a label, which is the beautiful thing about it. Anybody could be an artist. Anyone could be a record label owner, or whatever, and that's what makes it really fun. But with just this abundance of people just producing and owning a label on Bandcamp, whatever. What do you think what could set you apart if let's say you want to get involved in the scene? What do you think a label can do to really make them stand out compared to just the hundreds of other people also doing this, from the bedroom or wherever it is?
Well, I know I got lucky, because luck is definitely part of it. Having quality releases is another part of it.
Yeah.
I got real lucky with the people I started out with, but consistency. That's the one thing.
Yeah.
That's at least for me. That's been
Yeah. I try to do the same thing for YouTube. It's just like if you just there could be days you don't want to do it, you don't feel like working on it, but if you just push through and just do it that day, and stay on track,
and don't be afraid to have stuff lined up. Like maybe if you're feeling really good one day, just keep doing it. Keep working all day. Feel it till you just don't feel it no more.
Yeah.
And then so you have like a wealth of things backed up. Like I have releases already, booked till March. So just it takes time. I didn't start even, like actually being in the green until like 2.5, 3 years into running Business Casual. I started as a hobby.
Yeah.
It was just a thing I did for fun, and really anybody who's starting it to just make money it's not the right thing to do.
Yeah, that's so true.
You gotta start because you'll love doing it. You
Yeah.
want to help and elevate other artists.
Yeah.
Truly, that if you're not in it for that, then you're not going to be successful.
I agree. I think, like, first off, people are just so smart nowadays. They see through everything.
Yeah.
So if you're not genuinely doing this, like I could relate to the whole pad thing. It just all it is at the end of the day is just to show other people the artists and music that I love. Like, that's literally what it comes down at the end of the day. I just love to represent the artists I love, introduce it to new people, and I don't know. Sometimes just doing something that's like you're truly passionate about, and if you can just put money to the side, you know. It could work out. It could work out.
Because again, especially if you want to start doing physicals,
Mm-hmm.
it can get expensive the first, the first time you do a thing. But like eventually, once you start a fan base, once you build a rapport with people,
Mm-hmm.
then you'll have people coming back as long as you're putting out quality releases.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I always have the best read sometimes on like what's going to sell the best,
Mm-hmm.
but I always try to put out interesting stuff or stuff I like or stuff that I think will sell or people will enjoy.
Yeah. Well, you had that you did 100 Mornings, right? That was you.
Yeah.
That was solid. I feel like that just like rocked out. Like that sold like crazy.
That YouTube video got plugged into the algorithm and that just went right up.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I feel like I could sell it the first round that easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a quality record. You know? But being able to I still get emails saying, hey, well, I want a copy of this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to press another one, but hey, if I can, I will. If I can't, then hey, people who got it there first, people who were, the Windows 96 stands, from before the algorithm,
Let's talk movies. I'm a big movie guy, and I always got to know what, like, if I'm talking to someone, I got to know what their favorite movie is. It says a lot about them. I got to know just what kind of movies you like, give me some of your favorites, whatever they are.
Well, I think one of my new favorites that I saw, I think it was 2018 when it came out. Hereditary.
Dude, I have to see that. I heard it just changes your perspective on horror movies in general, and it taints everything else. Like after you watch,
I went to school for film. I used to watch a lot more movies than I do now.
Mm-hmm.
I've got time, but I watch a lot of YouTube.
Yeah, so do I.
Then again, every once in a while I go to the theater, and I just on a whim I just went to go see Hereditary.
Mm-hmm. And that's the director's first movie, right?
First major film. He's done a couple short films, and even those are pretty solid.
Yeah.
I do not want to spoil anything. Do not look up anything about the movie if you haven't seen it. Just go watch it. If you're into horror films, okay, it's not even really a horror film. It's full of dread. It's if I really don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not. But you should really see it if you're into anything horror. Just really dark movies. It's great.
Yeah, and did you see? I'm sure you saw Midsommar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard what do you think about that? Because I heard Midsommar was really good too, but I heard just Hereditary was so amazing.
Hereditary is a great first step. I liked Midsommar. I saw that twice, in theaters, and it's definitely better on the second viewing because you view a lot of things, that you missed the first time. Or you might miss the first time. But I don't think it's as good as Hereditary, but he's definitely got a style, and he's definitely got talent.
Awesome.
And I'm not saying he's the next Kubrick or anything, but if he keeps it up with this quality work, he's gonna have a good job in film for a good long time.
No, pretty solid. I mean, people when Hereditary came out. I have a couple friends from school that also did film, and they love this goddamn movie. They were like,
it's shocking.
Yeah.
At times, and I don't want to hype it up too much because I have something up. I saw, that wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. I just really liked it. Other films I'm a Kubrick fan. Tarantino, this sort of generic white boy I like my Tarantino, I like my what's his face fucking just put out The Irishman.
I've been trying to watch it.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, no, I know, but it's like so long.
It's 3 hours.
I know. I mean, like, I'm a very simple movie guy. I love my gangster movies, but like, I just want like, I don't know, like my Casino, my good. I love just the over the top shit. And
well,
I love
what The Irishman is.
No, it is, but it's very like it's a lot of conversations, which is still good. Like I could watch.
That's the juice of it.
I could watch Pacino and De Niro just talk, for hours. But yeah, it is. It's
you need your Marvel action film.
I need Jason Bay to direct Godfather 4. That's what I need. I need explosions. I need someone getting whacked with a missile. That's what I need.
Oh hey, they make stuff for everybody. You know.
Irishman is good though. I do like, and the way they like de-age them is pretty.
Oh my god! Yeah,
it's amazing. And I thought like some people were telling me like it looks really good, whatever. So I thought they were really gonna make him look like this like really young guy, but they did it. It was like just enough. Like they just made him just young enough where it doesn't look fake.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know. It's seamless. It's really really interesting.
Have you seen any good movies lately?
What have I seen? I love movies, but I'm like I said, I'm a simple guy. Like,
well, I'm
guy.
sure your fans want to hear it.
Yeah, let me see. What do I like? What have I seen? The last. Oh God, this is so bad. I think the last fucking movie I saw in the theater was Endgame. That's how like generic I am. But I liked Endgame. I thought Endgame was good. But I like rewatch like some of my favorite movies of all time. My favorite movie of all time is A Bronx Tale with De Niro and Chaz Palminteri. Obviously, The Godfather, Boondock Saints.
Yeah, okay. You said Bronx Tale, like, Boondock.
Yeah, so Boondock Saints, and I love my corny movies. Obviously, the Rocky series is my favorite too. Like, I love Rocky, and then just like corny stuff. You ever seen the movie Four Brothers with like Mark Wahlberg from the 2000s? That was on the other day. It was
I don't know what I'm thinking of a movie from the 50s.
No. And then one of my other favorite, I think it's from the 50s, Failsafe. You ever see Failsafe? I think that's what it's called.
Sounds
it's
familiar.
like it's this movie, and it all takes place in this like military room, and it's like the U.S. is on the brink of like firing a missile over to Russia, because like I kind of forgot. I saw it so long ago, but the whole movie's shot in like one room. I love stuff like that when they do. Like, you ever see Silent House with it's like one continuous shot. It's edited.
I know I've seen snippets of it. It's like a horror film kind of?
Yeah, it's with one of the Olsen sisters or something.
Yeah.
It's like this house, and it was really, really fucking good. But that's it. Like, I cannot remember the...
I used to go to the theater every week.
Joker. I saw Joker.
I haven't seen it.
It was good. It was good.
Yeah, I've heard good things, as far as a superhero movie. Superhero movie,
yeah.
Apparently, I'm assuming. Is Batman even in it?
He is as a kid. Oh. It's so forced.
Kid.
It's so forced, and like the thing is, at the end, sorry for the spoiler. Very simple spoiler.
You don't need to spoil it. They've already seen it.
That's true. So at the end, like they show like Batman as a kid, and like his parents are dead, and that's how it happened. So obviously, but it was like Joaquin Phoenix, however you say it, like that dude is like amazing. Like it was so good, and I really think they could have just totally let it just totally be the Joker, nothing with the Batman. It would have been good. But now supposedly they're doing a second one. I have no idea.
After a budget that small and a return that big, of course.
Yeah, that's true too. You're right. You're right.
They'd be stupid not to.
That's true, man. So you have a pretty solid discography. You've released a bunch of stuff. Like you said, you've been doing this almost like a decade at this point. What is your favorite project you've ever worked on, and why? Personally, for me, it's No Lives Matter. I love unpredictability, if that's even the word, in music, and I think that's what you do very well. So that's why I choose that one.
Well, it's definitely up there as far as, looking back on it, I'm sure it's not as high quality as I wish it were. Mm-hmm. But at the time I was making it, it was definitely more conceptual than I was going with other albums. And I think since then I've tried to keep that conceptual album sort of take, because it's really fun, and it makes it really intriguing for the listener to sort of draw their own conclusions. I try not to, give many people my side of the story when it comes to these albums, if only just because, you know, I want them to relate to themselves and not just me.
And go into it without any sort of background influence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like in the context of the album, that YouTube Poop Death track is this sort of, you know, trying to find an escape in the middle of all this.
Yeah.
Just, you know, dreary and, you know, dark times. And it's an escape, but then you're brought back to it. And, you know, no matter how many times you escape, you know, you always come back to it. And then eventually, towards the end of the album, you just sort of learn to live with it, or, you know, and then it'll, you know, it's a part of you now. And that's that sort of story of that album. And whereas, you know, social justice, whatever, is you know, it's all YouTube death.
So Deep Dark Trench, right? Is that before or after No Lives Matter? I always get everyone's years confused.
Well, 2016 I put out No Lives Matter. 2018 I put out.
So yeah, definitely
Deep Dark Trench. Whereas No Lives Matter is, you know, a personal story. So it's just whatever, it's a personal story. I was trying to do a sort of nationwide story, one that like people live through other than me, and could sort of see that and again draw their own conclusions of it. You know, the first part of it's pretty cut and dry of what it is, but then it gets to this point where, you know, you see these branching off things where it could be, what it could be, but eventually all leads back to the same ending. Where if we forget, you know, forget these sort of things, it's bound to happen again. You know, history repeats itself. You know.
Yeah, it's interesting because, like, for example, like 9/11 has been done so many times in the Vaporwave scene. So many people have, like, you know, tried to release something on it. You got, like, News at 11, which shows this almost melancholy, melodic side of it as if it didn't happen. There's so many different ways people have been doing it, and you definitely have a pretty interesting take on it on that album.
I like to think I do.
Yeah. Because usually it's just like they play like this jazz music and it's just like...
Well, you know, I think telling a story through sample is... It's not necessarily hard. Because you can tell any story through a sample, you know, you can cut and screw a couple songs together and get them to say something else. That's what a YouTube poop is.
Yeah.
But to do it in a way that it's not obvious and that it's not, you know, on the nose. I was originally going to have a lot more samples in that, you know, of that time, of that day. But, you know, after visiting the museum in New York City, you know, I just couldn't, you know, I had to take a lot of that stuff out because it just, nothing was like overly bad. But it just,
I mean, you got Miley Cyrus on there. It's like it's.
Well, what I mean is like it just like nothing was like tasteless, but I didn't really want it to be just that, and I wanted it to be a little bit more sort of you can make your own visuals from the sound on there instead of, you know, having, you know, obvious, you know, sirens going, you know,
all that
fire going, you know, stuff like that.
Actually, I haven't gone yet to the museum. I've always wanted to go, and I'm sure pictures don't do it justice. You know, because like
they truly do.
Right?
They truly do. I think the one thing in there that really just I broke down in tears. I'm a sensitive guy. Cool, I cry at sad movies. Yeah. But hearing the audio logs from the passengers like just like in the plane, you know, on the one that crashed in PA. It's just, you know, heartbreaking, and and you hear the fear and the you know, sadness. It's just it's really really hard to take, and you know, I almost didn't finish the album because I asked myself, am I really making an album about 9/11? In you know, in the way I make albums. It's just. I was worried that it was going to not go over well, and eventually, you know, I had most of the album finished. I had already been, you know, started to promote it a bit, and I was like, if I get crucified, it's my own damn fault.
Yeah, it's crazy. I do have to go there. I've always been saying like I gotta go visit.
It's definitely something. You gotta be ready for it.
Yeah.
It's not a fun trip.
No.
It's interesting, but it's not like you're gonna have a. Hey, let's go down to the 9/11 memorial. You gotta make a mental time to do it.
Yeah, 2020's coming. Crazy shit's coming. Like I don't even know where it's gonna go next. Like we were saying, it's just hopefully this bubble doesn't get popped soon because it is a lot of fun. Like meeting all these people online and then meeting in real life. Like it's crazy. It's pretty amazing. So if there's anything that you could just say, I guess in general about your music, the scene, friends you made along the way, if there's anything you think you could just say right now, whatever you're feeling, just let the people know.
I know. This year alone, I have, like, physically in the real world, met a lot of my, friends who I've made online, and something to be said about, seeing them in real life. You really get to another, level of connection with that sort of thing, and I find myself chatting with more people more often, than I was beforehand, because I run a business. I'm trying to stay as professional as I possibly can, so I don't want to be like playing favorite to one person or another. But for 2020 and on, I myself personally, at least for a couple of projects that I'm working on, I'm trying to go the almost sampleless route for an album or two or something here and there, because it's getting to a point where Vaporwave is it's a big thing, and I want to make sure that I can sustain myself off my music
and be protected and all that.
And exactly. So I'm trying a bunch of different things. Whether or not people like them, I hope they do. Yeah. But you know what? I'm not holding my breath at the same time, because it is different than what I have been doing.
Yeah, there's always going to be a charm with sampling, which is just like you can almost. Maybe you can people could start sampling their own stuff really heavily, but there is and obviously for someone like you've been sampling for so many years.
Well, I've only sampled. Yeah. Like even before Vaporwave, I was still sampling. Like it's part of who I am. But the thing is, and I don't intend on stopping to sample entirely. My God, that's a death sentence. But to actually be able to sell my music and not have to live in fear that I can get a DCMA or worse. Yeah. If one track gets taken down from an album, depending on which album it is, it's ruined, because the whole flow of the album of how I intended it to be from the beginning, it's gone. Yeah. So trying to work on something that I can actually sell and not have to worry about that would be amazing. And I'm working on a new album. I'm hoping to put it out maybe in the spring. And I've got a single lined up for January. So hopefully people like it. If they don't, I could say I tried, and I could keep trying until they like it or somebody likes it. But I just gotta stay positive.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're probably gonna the single should be out or just about coming out when this video drops.
I think it's coming out 13th or second or third Monday of January.
Yeah, so I guess you know what, in the comments below, let us know what you guys think about the song. I'm gonna link everything. Obviously, I'm gonna link all his music. I'm gonna link Business Casual in the description below. Make sure you go represent, go follow him. And there's a lot of big things coming, so everybody should be very excited. But my man, it was an absolute pleasure.
Okay.
Absolute pleasure.
Well, I brought you a gift because it is the holidays.
Oh my! Look at this.
Unfortunately, it's not a medium. It's a
no,
large.
It's okay. I need stuff to sleep in. I can use a nice large.
I brought you a price shirt from the Electronicon show.
Look at that. This is French linen.
No, I think it's cotton. But I also brought you a copy of
wow, thank you very
Deluxe
much.
Copy, no less better, and limited edition deluxe copy of Deep Dark Trench with the 2 tapes.
That is sick. Thank you very much. I will display these proudly in the record collection. Christ, 2020's coming around. He's got big things in the works, and it's just, everything's very exciting. That's really the only way you could, just everything in general.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Thanks again, guys. Thanks for watching, and until next time, much love, your boy, Pad Chennington, and Christ. Keep it real.